everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. As always, please practice according to your condition and your comfort level. Feel free to do the variations if you are a seasoned practitioner, if you know the practice. Otherwise, please be mindful of your limitations. And as always, please think about the idea of offering up the practice. It makes the practice even more powerful and meaningful. So on that note, let's begin. Just find yourself in a comfortable seated position, sitting tall and supreme. Close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Last time. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's do the mantra for purification now, to purify the space, the ground, and all the psychic channels within. If you know it, of course, you may do it along with me. If not, just imagine you're singing the chant through the voice of the Guru, and you derive all those benefits of purification. 3 times. Each one try to do it in a single breath, and do it loudly and with conviction, so it can be heard by the inner and outer bodies. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pantrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sji. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pantrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sji. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Byantraha Sji. And release. So now let's do a breathing technique to cultivate a positive mindset. So if you do this practice, if you do this breathing for about 15 to 20 minutes, you start to really feel the effects. Right now we don't have too much time, so we'll just give you a taste of it. But the idea is that we're breathing in and out through the right nostril, which is associated to the Pingala Nadi. This is a psychic channel that is associated with the vibrant, sunny energy. So we want to unleash that. We want to just try to harness that. So what we're going to do is inhale for 8 counts through the right nostril, close both nostrils for 6, exhale for 8 counts. The whole time, the left nostril is held closed, and just try to keep your attention at the space between the eyebrows. And just try to, again, imagine that your mind is being filled with happy thoughts. Okay, so left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected as always, and third other fingers are straight, resting on the left knee. The right hand, Vishnu Mudra, second, third fingers fold down to the palm, turn the palm towards you. This then becomes a mudra for pranayama. There's no locks for the breath retention because it's so short. So for the breath retention, you can just contract the anus a little bit if you like, but just the most important thing is to hold the attention at the space between your eyebrows. So we're just going to, I'll demonstrate and you can watch, and then when you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes and go into the breath a little bit more deeply. So sit up tall and straight. The right ring finger is blocking off the left nostril, by the way, and the right ring finger is closing and opening the nostril as needed on the right side. So take a deep breath in, exhale out all the breath, empty the lungs. Then close off the left side with the right ring finger. Inhale to the right. 3, 4, inflate the lungs. 6, 7, 8. Close the right side. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the right side. Gradually. 3, 4, 5. Completely empty by the 8th count. 7, 8. Inhale through the right again. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Close both nostrils. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the right side for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale to the right. Fill up the lungs evenly. Breathe in steadily and evenly. Then hold for 6. Let you touch at the space between your eyebrows. Exhale out to the right side. Exhale gradually as you inhale. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale to the right again. You have to believe in the technique in order for it to be able to work for you. Then hold the breath. Exhale out to the right side for 8. so you're filling yourself up with happy thoughts, with positivity. Then hold it all in your head space. Exhale out through the right. Inhale to the right again. Keep remaining tall and remain tall and straight. Hold the breath for 6. Exhale out to the right. Inhale. Fill yourself as much as you can with happiness, with contentment. Hold it all at the head space. Allow it to just permeate your whole being. Exhale out through the right. Keep going. Inhale. Do this whenever you feel sad or stressed. Hold. So put you in a positive mindset. Exhale out through the right. Five more cycles on your own. Keep the count even. Imagine your witness watching the body moving, even sensing the positivity coming in and permeating your whole being. Once you're done, just bring your right hand back to Yana Mudra on the right knee. Just take a moment to just assess the state of the physical, mental, and emotional state. Again, as a witness, no judgment of what you observe, no concern. Remain unchanged. Now bring your attention to the crown chakra, located at the top of the head. We'll do the sound twice in order to help promote mental sharpness. So try to concentrate on the latter part of the sound. The humming sound produced by the M will produce those vibrations that will help to stimulate that area and to bring about mental sharpness and clarity. Inhale. Again, inhale. Sharp and clear, let's begin the practice. Before I begin, I'd like to dedicate this practice to some very good friends who've lost some friends even as early as this morning. So my heart goes out to them, and please join me in offering up our love and sending out the positive vibrations to them. So to all those who've lost loved ones, this is for you. start with your feet about 10 inches apart. Raise the arms above the head with the elbows slightly bent, the palms turned upwards a little bit. So we're inhaling the spiritual breathing. So we're inhaling through the arms for a count of 8 into the spiritual heart located at the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. This is the residing place of God. Hold the love there for 6. Exhale out through the 8. Just a breath leaves. Imagine that everything you pulled in stays in. So let's try 3 times. Inhale from the fingertips down and through the arms into the heart. 2, 3, 4. Draw on the best universe. 6, 7, 8. Hold it all in the heart. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. Imagine you're a strong magnet attracting all the best of the best, the universe, everything you need. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding attention and the breath at the heart. All the qualities go there as well. 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms again. Just the breath again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale, pull in all that you need. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it all in the heart. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep the love inside, and the love stays with God, but God is present in all beings, so that love goes out to all beings everywhere. Now let's start the exercise to prepare the body for the practice. Start to swing from side to side. Imagine your arms as heavy ropes. Throw them around the body. And then slow it down. And then bring your hands on the hips and then start to circle the head. Try to see the floor in all the directions as you move your head around. Loosen up the neck. And then switch the direction of rotation. Try to get the ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. Good. And then from here, take up the arms over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows and bend to the left. Come up, go to the right. Try not to make fools of the underside of the body. Come up again, go to your left. Stretch the right side of the body, and then go to the left. Come up, and from here, make little circles with the head and shoulders mostly. And neck. And then make the circles a little bit bigger, adding in the chest and the upper back. And then finally, the whole body swings down, making large circles in front of the body if you feel comfortable to do so. And come all the way back up. And then switch the direction, starting off again with little small circles, head, neck, and shoulders mostly. Then the chest and the upper back. And finally the whole torso. Make large circles. And come all the way back up. Release the hands. Shake out the wrists. Move the fingers very, very rapidly. And then up and down. Fly the fingers like the wings of a hummingbird, or spin the hands, whatever you like to do. Good. Now, left hand on your left hip. If you have trouble with your shoulder, you can hold it on the shoulder with your right hand in front of the chest, and then just circle the left arm, the right arm forward 4 times and back for 4, and then forward again and back. Feel as though you're winding up a ball, and forward again and back, and then the other arm. Left arm circles forward and then go backwards. forward again. And back. Forward. And back. And then release. Good, now jump up and down. If you feel comfortable, otherwise you just lift the heels and just bounce a little bit, but if you can, allow the feet to leave the earth completely. Jump around in circles, be like a child, enjoy it. And then around the other way. And then hop on the right foot, hop on the left foot. Right, left. A few more jumps. And I'll conclude. Now come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara. Bring the hands to the heart. Pretend you're facing the sun and just feel the light and the warmth permeating you. Imagine that as that you're doing this in front of God. God represents the sun, our light and our warmth, our love. So just move together as one. Pretend we're moved together, all together in time, in sync, in order to deliver benefits to all beings everywhere. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Bring the hands down to the ground. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat on the ground. Chest on the thighs, head down. Right foot back into lunge. Lower down a knee, sink down to the seat. Push the seat in a little bit. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Now see if you can pull yourself forward between your arms. Raise the chest, bring the head back into Cobra. All the way back. You don't have to come up all the way, just take some time and warm up as you need to. Come forward into Cobra, lift the chest, bring the head back. One last time, come back. Seat behind the heels, glide forward, nose brushes the ground. As you come forward into Bhujangasana, back into downward facing dog. Melt the heart, drop the head down below the arms. Then the right foot comes forward. If you can't, if your foot doesn't come all the way, if it's difficult, bring the left foot down, left knee down. Use your right hand to assist the foot to come forward. Bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down again. Come all the way to standing, reach up and back. Return home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms above the head, lift, and come forward and down. Bow down as own humbleness. Left foot back into lunge, sink down to the seat. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees, the seat behind the heels. Glide forward 3 times. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels comfortable, that feels natural, that allows the breath to stay steady and even and uniform. Come forward again. The breath will figure it out and deliver fluidity and ease of movement. Come forward again into the Cobra. Bring the head all the way back. Open up the heart in every sense. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat. Bring the chest down towards the ground. Then the left foot steps forward. Again, modify as you need to. Bring the feet in together. Chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Return home, hands to the heart. Rise up again. Show up. All throughout the practice, do your best. Right foot back. Remember, it's an offering. Into the high plank. Lower down, knees, chest forward. Just imagine this as divine dance of devotion and love. All the way back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward. Sink down to the seat. Look up. Bring the feet together. Bow down the head. Eyes downcast as though in humbleness. Come up again. Reach up and back. Eyes up as though in adoration. Hands back to the heart. Reach up again. Hips forward. Go down. Uttanasana. Left foot back. Tap into the consciousness of the movements. Surrendering. Open yourself up to divine grace. Then bowing down as own humbleness. Come forward into Cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And the left foot steps forward. Step it very quietly. Move in a way that is pleasing for the witness to watch. Nothing that will jar their attention or to distract their attention. Raise your arms up. Come forward into Uttanasana. Chest on the thighs, glue the belly to the legs, join hands behind the back. Extend to the chest and push the body against the legs, send your head further forward and down towards the ground. If your legs are straight, glue the front of the body towards against the body, forehead to the shins. Then release the hands, right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Arms up over the head. Kapiyasana, make a crescent shape move with your body. And then bring the hands back down. Now plant the hands if you can. Swing the left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Come forward into high plank, keep your shoulders over the fingertips. Then hug the elbows by the sides of the body to support you coming down. If you need to, you lower your knee down sooner. As soon as you need to, come up into Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Keep moving according to your comfort level and your abilities. Right leg comes up. Step the foot between the hands. Lower the knees, sink down through the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back again. Hands back down. Keep watching your body moving in your imagination, moving with steadiness and grace and ease. Join the hands together, pull the hands back as your head comes forward, and bow down as though in humbleness. Push the body against the legs. Feel this and tilt the seat up until you can feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. And then release the hands, bring them up over the head. Arch back, create space, approach your true nature, which is formless, boundless, infinite. Hands back to the heart. Adding on, reach the arms up over the head. Fold down into Uttanasana. Good, slide your hands forward, raise the right leg up. Extended standing split. Then pull the nose towards the shin, bring the right leg up higher, nose to the shin. Bend the left knee, bring the right foot down. Warrior one. Raise your arms up. Virabhadrasana one. And then circle the arms down. If you feel comfortable, allow the head to fall back. Then plant your hands. Raise the left leg up. Open up the hip. Bend the knee. Come into downward facing scorpion. Look underneath your left arm. If you're comfortable, you can come right, drop to the right. Come right into wild thing. Left foot finds the ground. Spin on your hand. Flip your hips and chest up. Then return the same way. Push into the right hand. Keep the right hip up. And bring the left leg all the way up, back up into three-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands. Back foot flat. Raise your arms up over the head. Like the mighty and strong warrior. Separate the hands. Bring the head back. Press fingertips into the ground alongside the left foot. Raise the right leg up. Extend the standing split. Full standing split. Nose to the shin. Right leg comes up higher. Modify as you need to. You can bend your knee if you can't get the leg straight. Just again. Do what you can. Pull the body down onto your legs. It's the effort that counts and the intention of offering that's most important. Bring the arms up over the head. Arch back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms over the head. Hips forward. Chest high. Set your sights high in every sense. Have higher intentions. Pull the body down onto your legs of offering. Bring the fingertips down either side of the right foot. Raise the left leg up. Extended standing split. Full standing split. Nose to the shin. Left foot comes up right over the right like a needle. And then bring the left foot down. Set up for warrior one. Strong lunge. Raise your arms up over the head. Virabhadrasana one. Circle the arms down. Allow the head to drop back. Plant your hands and lose yourself in the sensations. Raise the right leg up. Bend the knee. Look underneath your right arm. Open up the hip. Again, if you feel comfortable, spin on your foot, spin on your hands, and bring the right foot down. Drop all the way to the left for wild thing. And come back the same way. Come right back into three-legged dog. Look between the hands and step the foot forward. Bring your shoulders over the fingertips so the foot doesn't land with a big heavy thud. Again, soft movements, graceful. Raise your arms up over the head. Circle the arms down, the head falls back. Hands back down on the ground. Raise the left leg up. Then pull the body down onto your leg. Bring the left leg comes up higher over the right foot. And then bring the left foot back down. Chest on the thighs. I hope I didn't instruct that whole thing wrong. But pull the body down onto your legs. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. hands back to the heart. One more variation. Raise your arms up. Be receptive to all experiences. They're all important. They all bring us closer to self-realization through the knowledge that we gain through them. Bring the head and chest up. Press into your hands. You can come back into chaturanga, hopping or walking, or lie on the belly. Come forward into upward facing dog. Swing right up if you can. Hips and knees stay up off the ground through the transition. Good. Bring the shoulders back, the head back, the nose up as though you're howling at the moon like a dog. Imitate the form mentally, physically, and even emotionally and spiritually. Roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Here, stretch like a dog stretches its back, and reflect the loyalty of the dog to its master, the playfulness. Allow the heart to sink a little bit more, form a steep curve from the back of the head all the way up to the seat. And lift the heels, bend the knees, bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, arch back. Hands back to the heart. And one more. Arms up over the head, hips forward. Go down, Uttanasana. Again, lift the head and chest. Press into your hands, bend your elbows as you jump or walk back so that you land softly into upward facing dog. This time, if you like, we try to transition between two poses. Upward to downward. And then roll forward again over your toes, rounding your back through the transition. Arch your back, uncoil, upward facing dog. Round your back again, tuck the chin, and then sink the heart towards the ground. Soften line the back, come forward again. Make sure you don't jam up the lower back or the back of the neck. No big sharp folds or lines in your spine. Back into downward facing dog. Now lift the heels, bend the knees into the hands. Bring your feet forward, softly hopping or walking. Pull the body onto your legs. Come right into standing. Arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. From the heart center, inhale up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all. Let go of all expectations, let go of all attachments to the results. And release the hands. Just do the practice because it must be done. So standing on your left foot now, we're going to do some balance poses. So let's start off with ballet pose. Stand on your left foot, take hold of the heel from the inside, the thumb behind the heel. And then raise your right leg up. The arm comes up at the same time. So depending on flexibility, to keep your legs straight, sometimes if the hands are about the height of the shoulders. If you're more flexible, bring the leg up higher. Close to the shoulder, lean a little bit to the left so your fingers and toes stay on at the same height. Lift up through the chest. If you're having a lot of difficulty with this, to straighten the leg, you can also hold underneath the knee, just underneath the shin, and just see if you can straighten your leg as best as you can. Push the knee out. Good. Now engage that raised leg so that when you let go of it, if you want to let go of it, it doesn't drop down appreciably in height. So now let go of the foot. And now bring it down with control. Don't let it touch the ground. Go right into gliding eagle. So now bend the soften the standing leg if you need to at the knee. And then come forward. The head comes about the height of the knee. Pull the arms back like you're sweeping your wings out. Imagine you're gliding over the surface of the ocean. Feel as though you were an eagle. Just try to imagine what it'd be like to be in an eagle's body. And then press into your left foot to come up and down. Try it on the other foot now. Just keep watching the body moving all by itself. Bring your left foot up and then hold the heel from the inside and then straighten the leg and the arm. Bring them up. So again, the letter Y shape, maybe the letter T. Just do your best. If you fall out, just come right back up. Be undisturbed, unchanged in your mindset, in your calmness. Look up, be magnificent like the dancer. Embody all the characters and grace of a dancer. And then see if you can engage leg muscles so that when you let go of the foot, it doesn't fall. Now keep on engaging the muscles of the legs so it comes down with control, and then lean forward. If you need to bring your fingertips to the ground, to prevent you from losing your balance, you go ahead and do so. Now pull the shoulders back. Imagine you're flying, swooping down from a great height, at great speed. Soar through the air. All these visualizations allow you to just merge with the form, merge with the being. The heart of that being is God, as always. And then press into the foot, come up. So just think as you do these forms, they're all divine manifestations of God's grace and beauty. Let's try another one. So, let's see. We're going to try standing split. So we're going to come down, bend your knees, and then just take your hands on either side of the feet. Raise the right leg up first. So keep your chest at your thighs and bring your left hand to the ankle, the index finger along the just outside the ankle. And raise your right leg up. Doesn't matter if you can't get your legs straight. If you have tight hamstrings, just again, do what you can. And try to pull the left hip up. Try to get your hip over the heel. Your right hand is close to your right foot. If you have good balance, you might eventually try to bring your right hand to the inside of the ankle, the index finger along the inside, just behind the heel, just along the ankle. The head comes close to the foot, gaze at the toes or a little bit beyond the toes. Eventually, some of you might be able to bring your nose right to the shin, your right leg up comes right over the left. Okay, so again, just try to find a balance. And then release. Try it on the other foot now. Just take a moment to just separate your feet. Inhale, extend head forward. Exhale, slump down. Throw all the fatigue out of the body. And then start on the other side. So bring the right hand to the ankle, just pressing the index finger along just against the outside of the ankle. Raise the left leg up again. Try to get your legs straight if you can. Otherwise, just do what you can. Just do your best. And the left hand is close to the foot. It comes progressively closer. Try to get your head close to your foot. Gaze beyond the toes. If you have good balance, try to bring your left hand to the inside of the ankle, index finger along the ankle again. Raise the left leg up higher. So, again, if you can, you want to have your hip right over your heel. And then see if you can bring your nose or your chin against your shin if you're more flexible. And then release. Bring left foot down. Inhale, extend the head forward. Exhale, slump again. Good. Now just walk your hands forward. Coming into plank and bring the left foot forward. Lower the feet down, sink down to the seat. Kapiyasana. Push your hips forward. Bring your hands on your seat. Pull the elbows back. This helps to open up the chest. Just bring your seat all the way forward. Allow the head to drop back. Now those of you who are flexible can turn to your right a little bit. Slide your right hand down towards the knee. Press your thumb into the inside of the knee, like the back of the knee. And if you want, throw your left arm around. See if you can catch the other side, the inside of the leg. If you have your hands on your knee, you might be able to control it. If you push your thumbs into the back of the knee to hinge the leg up, and you're holding the knee, you might be able to guide the foot right to the head. Remember, you have the option to just keep your hands on your seat. If your foot finds a head and you have the balance, you have to keep your hips forward. You can raise your arms up. All these, again, just options. Do them according to your comfort level and your abilities. And then from here, release. So now we're going to move the left foot out a little bit to your left. See if you can drop down to the right. The right front of the hip anchors down, the right forearm, and then the left go to left. Get your left forearm down. So imagine you're doing a sphinx here. Sink down through the hips evenly. And eventually, if you keep pulling your floor towards you, might be able to just eventually lower your chest right down. Telescope your chest forward a little bit. Try to get lower. If you can't come down on your forearms, just stay on your hands. Those of you who are right down on the ground on your chest, you can take your left arm around in front of the foot, underneath the leg, going underneath the knee from the outside, and join your hands over your back. Left hand holds the right wrist, left shoulder is right next to the foot. Be like a lizard sunning itself on a warm earth. Now, make your way back up. So trying something a bit different here. Bring the left shoulder in behind the left knee. From here, you can see if you can bring your left arm out to the side, floated above the ground, maybe the right arm. If you're feeling stronger, push into the toes, lift the knee up off the ground. Come forward. Hovering just above the ground. Those who are more advanced, bring your hands down, bring your left leg forward over your arm, and then come forward until you can sit on your elbows. Kundinyasana. Lift the right leg up. You have to bring your body forward. Your belly button sort of between your elbows. And then back down. Bring your right foot down, the knee down, and slide your left foot back in. Come upright. The knee over the heel. The legs like a box. Raise the right arm up. Dive down to the left. So the armpit is staying on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into right, or the fist in the hand. As you push in the hands, raise the body up higher than the thigh, the belly comes higher than the thigh. And then roll the left shoulder all the way back. Turn your face and chest up. You know how other variations go ahead. You can bring your seat back. If your elbows in the space underneath the knee, use your left hand to guide the hand underneath the leg. Throw your left arm over your back. Hold it from underneath with your right hand. The fingers lock or hold the wrist. And then bring the right knee up if you can, up off the ground. Push through that right heel. Extend through the crown as you inhale to lengthen your line. Exhale, turn your chest and face right up. It should look like you're lying on your back. Break the pose. Coming back down. From here, just switch your legs around. Right foot forward. Lower the seat. Bring the hips all the way forward. So you have to sit close to the front heel to keep your balance. And then take your hands to seat, push into seat, pull down at the same time. Imagine try to get your elbows and meet behind your back. Open up the chest in every sense, the heart in every sense. Bring the head back. Expression again of divine devotion. Say this pose on yours to do your service always. Now see if you can lean to your left a little bit, slide your left hand back. Hold the knee, so the thumb is in the back of the knee, the other hand on the outside. If you can, swing your right arm back so you can find the inside the leg. So you turn your hands, you're holding the knee with your hands and your thumbs are pressing to the back of the knee. And then pull the leg up, the lower leg up, pull the chest up high, the head back, and maybe the toes will find their way more easily to the head with your hands directing the foot or the leg. And if you want, bring your arms up if you have the balance. And then break the pose. Bring the left foot down. It goes up, and then from here, just fall to your left so you can get the left front hip to anchor down. Roll to the right, right forearm down. Move the leg out, the foot out, so that the knee doesn't fall away from the shoulder. It should stay, the knee should stay in line with the foot. And creep forward. Making as though you're doing a Sphinx pose, heavy through the hips. And imagine you have a big weight sitting on the seat that eventually spreads and comes all the way through into your trunk. And maybe eventually the chest will melt right down to the ground. Keep your gaze steady, unblinking like a lizard. If you want to take a bind, go ahead if you know that variation, if you're flat down on your chest. Otherwise, modify as you need to, just find your way into the best expression you can of the pose. And then break the pose. Back onto your hands, make your way, come back a little bit and bring your right shoulder in behind the knee. You can stay in the knee the whole time if you like. Bring the right arm out to the side, hovering above the ground, level with the floor, and maybe the other arm. If you have more strength, lift the knee up. Keep your hips low. Your chest, your head, your foot all in the same line. Bring arms out to the side, even just one hand again. Or Kundinasana. Bring your hands down, your elbows over the wrists, and bring your right foot over your arm, right leg over the arm. Now if you lean forward so that you're sitting on your elbows, your belly button between your elbows, you bring more your weight forward so your left leg comes up. And bring the left foot back down, the knee down. Break the pose. Bring the right foot back down. Come upright. Do it this way as you can see. Parivita Parsvakonasana. Left arm up, dive down to the right. See if you can get your hands together. If your hands are at the shoulder, keep pushing one hand, the top hand down to the bottom so the body lifts higher, and then this will give you more room to spin into the twist. Roll the right shoulder all the way back. Look up. Again, take your variations as you see fit. Or stay in this version, or modify. Modify, you could just stay upright, left hand on the outside of the knee, the other hand on the seat. Just look behind you or on your hip. Otherwise, see if you can take your knee up off the ground. Try to get your shoulders eventually at the same level with the floor. Level height. Stay strong through the back heel all the way to the crown. Don't sag through the hips or the back of the knee. And then from here, release. Come back onto your hands into plank position. Vasisthasana. Move your hips back a little so your hips stay high. Move your left hand closer to the right. Spin on your towards the right. The right foot can be in front of the other one. Hips forward. Keep your hips lifted. If you want, you can do variations here, or you can have the right foot on top of the left. Push your hips forward. Feel as though you're being flying like a kite, being blown from behind by the wind. And then come back into plank. Bring the seat back. Go to the other side. The right hand comes towards the left. Spin towards the left. Again, hips forward. Make sure you're not sagging or dropping into your shoulder. Keep your arm fully extended. Keep your arms strong. If you have your hand a little bit from the shoulder, it might help to give you a little bit more power. And then from here, come back down. Lower down on the knees for a moment. So if you can, you sit on your heels. If you're more flexible, you sit between your heels. Supta Virasana. So depending on your condition of your knees, don't force. Be very mindful if you have knee injuries. You can just bring your hands back, tilt your hips forward, and just go as far as you can. So maybe on your forearms even. Those you can lie right on the back. And if you're on your back, you can take hold of your opposite elbows over your head. Keep lengthening from the elbows all the way to the knees. Inhale, stretch that line. Exhale, just feel everything sag. So the belly button, we're just going to sag right through and go right into the ground, through the body. Think about the effect of softening your knees. Move the joints joints every day to keep the body in radiant health and the joints flexible. And work on flexibility of the mind as well. Be open to all perspectives. So now we're going to come up. Repeat Vasisthasana. So come onto your elbows if you're on the back, and then lift up. So we're going to come into plank position again. Move back into downward facing dog. Keep your hips high. Use time you can do variations. Left hand goes to the right. Come into side plank, or you can stay in this version, of course. If you need to modify it, just lower the left shin down. If you want, slide your right toes back. Move the left foot closer. The foot's at 45 degrees. Make sure the base of the big toe is on the ground. That's why you move your foot closer. And if you're strong through the hand and the foot, you can maybe bring the weight more easily up off the right foot and lift the leg up. Take hold, catch the knee. Or if you have the extension, the flexibility, take hold of the foot. Notice how high my hips are, and that the left foot is flat on the ground. Return the same way, back into plank, into downward facing dog, go to the other side. Move the right hand closer to the left, and then spin towards the left. Again, move your right foot, your right foot in a little bit, so you can get your hip almost over your foot. So big toe is grounded. Foot is flat on the ground. Make sure you're not dropping into your right shoulder. Keep it strong. Don't sink into it. Take hold of the knee or take hold of the foot. And offer up all your efforts. Whatever you can manage to do, don't worry about the results. Have no expectations. Just do your best. Come back down. Coming back into plank position. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. And sit up. Sukha Gomukhasana. Keep sitting on your heels. Bring the right arm up. Turn the arm, so roll it inward so the elbow's facing back. The right arm is up. Pull the elbow up a little bit higher and bend at the elbow so the hand comes straight down the center of the back. Push the elbow further back. If you have the mobility to do so, you can take your left arm down, roll the head and shoulder forward, lean forward a little bit, so you can snake your hand up on the back. And hold your fingers in a lock. Inhale, push the head up, push the head into the back of the arms, and then pull on the back, the hands with the bottom hand, so the hands come further down the back. Now imagine pushing your hands in the back, heart lifted up from behind and from underneath. Make it an offering, all your love. Your head is centered between the elbows, roughly. And then break the pose. Bring the right arm, elbow down, and release. Shake out the shoulders a little bit. And then the other arm. Left arm comes up, spin the arm inward, elbow facing behind, eye the elbow. Bring the right hand to the elbow and guide it up higher. Push it further back behind the head so the hand can come down a little bit further. And then when you take your right arm up, if you're taking a bind, you'll find it maybe a little bit more easily. Then tug on the top hand with the bottom hand once the fingers are in a lock. Push lower back up and in. Stay straight. Sink the shoulders. Push the back head into the arm. Left arm. Save this pose as you look up. I am yours, God. Grant me higher devotion. Grant me love to allow me to love all beings unconditionally. Tuck the chin in, bring the elbow down, and relax. Shake out the shoulders a little bit. Now we're doing the headstand, Shavasana. If you have a headstand, please go ahead into your variation. Option is to come into lotus, full lotus, only if you can do full lotus, otherwise just keep your legs straight and bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows and hold it there. Otherwise, few options here. So a few of the easier ones, you can bring your hands down beside your knees if you're very uncomfortable with going too far from the ground. Forehead from the knees, and just roll your seat up. Your hips over your knees, your upper back forward. If it's too much pressure on your back and neck, you just move your head forward and come on top of the head. If you want to try teddy bear, you bring your hands alongside the knees, your arms are at right angles. They should not be beside your head. They should be in front, you can see them. Lift your seat, you have to bring your feet forward so your seat comes pretty much over your shoulders. And then just bring your knees just underneath the knees against your elbows. Push into your hands. Take a half breath in, hold the breath, and then just flick your toes up, away from the ground. And if you like, once you get the confidence, you can bring your toes up higher than the elbows and maybe move your knees in closer to your shoulders. Stay perched like this. You're very close to the ground, so it's not very far to go if you do come out of the pose. Otherwise, you can just sit on bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Don't move your elbows. Move your hands forward. Interlace your fingers and place your head between your palms. Lift up your seat. Again, don't move your elbows. Keep them where they are. Press into the forearms. And here you can pulse up off the heels, both heels at a time. Lift your heels and bring them down. Eventually, you can bring one leg all the way back behind you. Keep the foot hanging close to the seat as though it were a fruit hanging from the tree. Bend the toes back. Flex the toes. From here, keep pulsing your heel up and down. Eventually, you might be able to flick your toes up off the ground. They just have to be hovering above the ground so that you can come down easily. Don't jump hard. You'll land all the way. You might land on your back on the other side. As you get more comfortable, you push the left foot back further, and your feet are around the height of the hips. Keep your legs bent, keep your feet flexed, and keep your muscles engaged to keep the steadiness. And then once you're steady, just leave the body alone in stillness. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. And do your other forms if you like. Advanced practitioners, you can try variations if you like your lotus, or pushing your forearms, hold the breath, and lift your head up off the ground. You might want to separate your hands if they're clasped, might be a little bit easier. So you push into your fingertips, the head's into the ground, and then just lift your head. Another way to get into Forearm Balance. According to your comfort level, pull the body up a little bit higher. Make your way down slowly with control. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. And from here, make your way into shoulder stand, Shavasana. Advanced practitioners, you can come in from the front, from downward facing dog if you know that variation. Make sure that your neck and shoulders are not, don't have any injuries in them. I'll just demonstrate quickly. If you're trying to that one, if you bring your forearms down towards the ground, you bring your head down and to walk forward. You have to go really far on the back of the head. Tuck your chin in, and your elbows lift up maybe, and then your upper back will come down, upper shoulders will come onto the floor. Then bring your hands to the back and bring your legs up. So that's one way of getting into it. Again, be mindful of your shoulders and your bellies. Otherwise, you can start, the easiest way to get in, start at the front of the mat and then roll back into it. As your legs come up, press into your arms, your feet come over your head, behind your head. See if you can move your hands together. You try to get your elbows, your arms behind your back completely. And then bring your hands to your back, and then you can lift your legs out one or both at a time,
if you feel comfortable. Otherwise, you can just allow your knees to just stay close to your forehead, or even just rest your seat on your hands with your feet directly over the hips. Okay, so it's a more restorative pose, and you can do this with your legs resting against the wall if you like as well. Those you have a lotus, go ahead. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows again. If you're right on top of your shoulders, you might be able to take your hands to your thighs, whether your legs are straight or lotus. With lotus, you try to get your knees higher than your hips. Push your hips forward. Bring your chest right into the chin, right against the chin. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within. Without changing your focus, those of you who have a lotus can keep it. Come into Pindasana, embryo pose. Bring your thighs against the body if you have the ability. You may wrap your arms around the outside of the legs and join your hands underneath the seat. Your knees are just hanging out over the shoulders. If your legs are straight, come into plow pose first. Hips over the shoulders. If your feet don't come all the way down to the ground, keep supporting with your hands. You can even push a little bit lightly into your seat a little bit. Try to get your feet, your hips over your shoulders so your feet will come down further. Those who want Pindasana. Bring your thighs against the body, your knees just on the shoulders beside your head. Now, withdraw from your senses, especially when you're in this pose with your knees beside your head. Close off the sense organs, so as not to be distracted by those inputs coming in. Be undisturbed. Keep on playing the role of a witness, just watching everything. Nothing on their mind, but unconditional love for what they see. Going to make our way into fish pose, flying fish perhaps. So you take your hands on the ground behind your seat, your index fingers and your thumb tips touching. Roll down slowly. And once your seat lands on your wrists, bring your legs down halfway, so at 45 degrees. Push into your elbows, lift your body up, about the same angle as your legs. And from here, push the shoulders back, push the chest forward, open up the chest, and bring the top head down to the ground if you can. You need to flatten out a little bit. If you need to lower your legs down, that's okay too. If you're very comfortable here, you feel strong, you take your arms out from underneath, bring your hands in line with your legs, your palms together. Now Bastrika breath, breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Lower the legs and come back down on your back. Breathe in, breathe out, relax everything. All right, from here, bring your feet in close to the seat. Option is to keep your arms by the sides of the body. Well, let's start off everybody the same way. Edge the feet in line with the hips. Lift your hips. And then move your shoulders under a little bit more so that your shoulders come to just underneath the body. And push your hips up a little bit higher. Try to get your chest to your chin. Lift your knees, lift your heels, walk the feet in a little bit. So try to get your hips a little bit higher. And then when you drop your heels down, try not to lose any height in the hips. The backs of the knees in line with your heels. So if your knees are sort of more over the toes, you're probably flatter. just really try to bring more arch in your mid to upper back. Now you can stay here if you like, or release your hands, place them beside your head, fingertips spread and palms facing a little bit towards you, towards your feet, and then slide back on your head and turn top of the head. Then turn your hands around so that your fingers are facing the toes, a little bit outwards as well. Spread your fingers. Take a half breath in. If you feel comfortable, lift your head up off the ground. Coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana. And just play here a little bit. Stretch. Push the chest forward. Rock back and forth. Come up off your heels. Do whatever you like. Advanced practitioners, you can do variations. You can come up and back, drop back down. So if you know that version, go ahead. Press up. And go back. Bend your knees. Open up your feet a little bit. You can bring your hands to the backs of the legs. Drop your head back, and when your head's coming to the ground, you can see the floor easily. Then you take your hands down. That's better. That's how you start to learn how to get into it. Okay, so hold it a little bit longer. Practice fortitude. If you don't hold the poses long enough, you don't make progress. As Dharma says, in 20 years you might still be in the same place as you are today. Then lower the heels, break the pose, come down. And then relax on your back. Imagine you're going to sleep for 10 seconds. Breathe in. Exhale. Drop all the fatigue out of the body. Now from here, if you need to slide your left foot in a little bit, bring the right leg up, bend the knee and bring the knee to the shoulder, hold the ankle, and pull on the leg, trying to get it closer to the body, straighten the leg. If you can extend your left leg at any time if you feel you can, so the heel is sliding forward and the back, the left leg's on the ground. If you're very flexible, try to bring your right leg to the ground too. The foot comes down just beside, a little bit behind your head. Your knee is pretty much in the armpits. And then bend the knee, bring the heel over, then back the knee, half happy baby pose. So you have an option here. If you're not quite as flexible, you can see if you can bring your foot out to the right. So it looks very much like ballet pose. What we did at the beginning of the class, the balance pose, except you're lying on the ground. So you have all these similarities that we have, all the forms merging together. If you're more flexible, you can try to bring your right shoulder in front of the knee and push into the back knee so the knee comes higher, closer to the ear. Slide your left leg in if you need to. Bring your knee right into your chest if you need to. Then lift your shoulders up, pull the foot towards the left, towards the ground behind your head. Bring your shoulders up. You might be able to get your head eventually in front of the foot. Okay. And then you can eventually take your hands to the chest and Anjali Mudra and extend your left leg. If you're very flexible, you can take both feet, pull in the ankles a little bit. You can roll back a little bit and sort of like halfway into plow. Cross your ankles, press the fronts of the feet together, bring your head up and in front of the feet. And then eventually try to get your knees to the ground, your feet to the ground. And if you reach this pose, stay there. Breathe from the space, from the heart space up to the space between your eyebrows and back down. You can do this in whatever variation you're doing. Now for those who are doing one leg at a time, switch legs. Those with both feet behind head, Yoga Nidrasana, can stay there. And then bring your left knee into your left shoulder and hold the ankle, try to pull the foot closer to the head. Those in Yoga Nidrasana, if you want, you can reverse it too. So eventually you can come out, just have one leg behind the head, then half happy baby, and then back into ankle grasp. We could go the opposite way, opposite sequence. Very flexible. Again, you can try to bring your foot down to the ground beside to the left. Then into half happy baby pose. Bring the knee down to the ground on the outside of the left, underneath the left arm. And from here, if you want, you can move your hand to the inside the heel and just bring your foot to the ground. Make sure you don't uproot the whole right side of the body. Just keep your right hand down on the ground to keep your right side of the seat anchored down. Otherwise, see if you can get your left shoulder in front of your knee. Behind, against the back of the knee, push into the back of the knee, and then see if you can make your way, get your leg behind your head. Bring your right leg up and towards the body. You have to tug on the foot towards your left. Your right, you have to move a little bit, shimmy around a little bit. Just try to wiggle your way in. It's all practice. Have no attachment to the results. You see time, try to go to your edge a little bit. Your edge just keeps on progressing forward as you reach the edge, and then you make progress. Break the pose, return, lying on your back, breathe in, breathe out. Roll up to seated position, or come up any which way you like. Cross the ankles, make your way back onto your belly. Start off in Cobra pose. So you can do Sphinx if you like. Hold the edges of the mat in front of you, elbows underneath the shoulders, anchor down through the hips, and the lower body, right down to the feet. Push your chest up, push your shoulders back. Feel very heavy through the lower body, the shoulders as well. Drop them down. Feel like that statue that has survived all those ages, unbothered by whatever's going around them. They remain steady. Eventually you can lift your elbows up, bring your head back a little bit more. Curve your spine. And then to feel comfortable, you just walk your hands closer and closer. Keep your hips on the ground. Bring your head back. Feet together like the tail of a snake. Lower down slowly and relax. You can bring your hands in front, stack the hands, press the forehead into the hands. Breathe in, breathe out. Option to do Cobra or any variation you like. Again, so roll the shoulders back, make your way up. If you're trying to get into King Cobra, for instance, come onto your fingertips. Really push into fingertips to get more height. Bring the head all the way up and back. Feel as though you're pulling your torso out of your hips. Walk the hands as close as possible to the hips to get more height. So only the front of the thighs on the ground. Open up your legs and then bend your knees. Bring your feet up towards the head. So imagine you're squeezing socks behind the knees. And eventually, maybe the toes will come right to the head. At which point you can drop your heels, the palms down. You're very flexible. You can try to reach around with your left hand, hold the breath, take hold of your leg, pull hard on that leg so you can take your other hand up swiftly to the other side. And bound King Cobra. Let go. You can let go of one leg carefully. Push the leg down, one foot down towards the ground. And then place the hands and then come down all the way if you're doing the bound one. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out softly. Dhanurasana. Bend both knees. If you can, take hold of your ankles. If
you're limited mobility, you can see if you can just take one foot. Or take a strap, take whatever age you need to. If you want to do one leg, you can just hold one foot. You can do this pose. Looks sort of like another version of dancer. If you can take both feet, hold at the ankles, and you can even just lift your chest. You keep your thighs on the ground. As you feel comfortable with more strength, you pull with your hands, try to get your legs up higher. Try to bring your legs up as high as you can. When you look up, you might see your toes. If you want, you can rock back and forth a little bit on your belly to prevent gas buildup. Hold the pose. Other option here, if you're getting tired of holding the legs, you can let go of the feet, skydive. Imagine you're free falling. Pull the elbows out. Keep your legs active, push up through the base of the toes. You can do this as well. Regardless, it's a fun pose. And then relax, forehead down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now from here, practice forearm balance. So you can do this against the wall if you like. Let's see, I wonder if you can see this. I have to tilt down a little bit. You may hopefully be able to see. If you're doing it against the wall, you bring the forearms down, like you bring your feet. So I'm in table position with my feet against the wall. Okay, and then your elbows come down underneath your shoulders. And take hold of your, interlace your fingers, and then see if you can bring one foot on the wall. Push into the wall and bring the other leg back. Okay, and then from here, you just see if you can push into your forearms, shoulders over the elbows, and just flick your toes away from the wall. Just play hot potato. Okay, so you can do this from the wall like that. I hope that you're able to see, but you can also do this on the floor if you feel comfortable, do so. You can start with your head on the ground, lift your head as we did before, or elbows a little bit close to the shoulders, fingers spread. Your thumbs together, your index, the middle fingers sort of facing forward. So spread them equally and use your arms. Now lift your seat, walk your elbows, your feet towards your elbows, and then just again pulse up and down. Okay, push off the toes. Try not to jump too hard. You'll go flying over to the other side. So nice and light. Just get a little bounce, and just the closer you get your foot to your elbows, the easier it is to eventually come up. You're not wasting so much energy jumping up if your feet are from way far away. Nice ways, look towards your fingers. Again, you can bring your head between your wrists here. Spread your fingers and then hold the breath. And then just lift your head and tilt it up. Or just imagine someone's lifting you from above by the hips. Keep your legs very bent. Your feet are close to your seat, so if you fall, you go over and it's not a big deal. So you put your head down and you just roll. Okay, so your legs are coming up, are straight up. It's a little bit of a heavier landing, so you want to just try to keep your body compact so that you land a little bit more easily. Okay, so the important thing is to just get comfortable and with falling, and then you know what to expect, and then it's no big deal. You know what to expect next time, and so the fear goes away. All right, so let's try one more time, perhaps, or if you like, you can do any other type of. You can do any preparation, dolphin maybe. Come forward, back and forth like this. So lots of different things. Use your imagination to come up with a form that is accessible to you, that you feel comfortable. Break the pose, come back up. Now from here, we're going to come into twist. So we're going to come into Adha Matsyendrasana. The left leg folds, if you can. The left leg folds in, so the knees in front of the body and the heels on the outside of the right hip. Don't sit on your heel, so it should be underneath your seat. And the other foot, the right foot on the outside of the left knee. If this is, if you can't do this without lifting one side of the seat, just simply straighten out your left leg and bring your foot a little bit further forward between the knee and the ankle, so not too close if you're doing this version. And take the right hand behind your back, just against the center of the back, lift the left arm up, and then press your arm against the outside of the leg. Push the lower back up and in, inhale, lift through the chest, exhale, turn all the way to the right, bit by bit. Feel the twist starting low in the body at the hips, and imagine your skin is transparent. You can see right through to the spine. And just imagine the spine like a corkscrew, just twisting around itself. Eventually your chin can go over your right shoulder. If you're doing the bound version, the folded leg version, the full one, you can take binds if you know them. Take hold of the left heel with your left hand from the other side. Or slip your arm underneath the leg and join your hands behind the back. Left hand holding the right wrist. Make sure both sides of the seat are grounded. And from here, release. Change legs. If you're in the full version, you can place your hands down, lift your seat, and then spin around towards your left, counterclockwise direction. Just don't keep your feet spinning in the same place. And then eventually when you're facing forward again, your other leg is on top. Your left leg's in front, and you sit down again. Right arm up, inhale, go to your left. Push against the outside of the knee and the thigh with the right arm. You can take your variations or modify with your right leg stretched out in front. Eventually, all poses, once you tap into the consciousness of the pose and the being, once you just try to really imagine where that being is at rest, you too will find the ease in the pose. And then it becomes possible to meditate in whatever state and whatever form, under whatever circumstances. The mind is quiet. Break the pose. Make your way onto your back, softly moving into Shavasana. This is a very important part of the practice, where you integrate all the benefits. Imagine now the best of the best coming in. Feel yourself flooded by all this goodness, everything that you need. And then send it all to the spiritual heart, the residing place of God. And as God is equally present in all beings, all those benefits will go out to all beings as well. Through this practice of Shavasana, think of it as an anecdote for removing impurities. So fill yourself on the inhale with all the goodness. On the exhale, imagine it all, just all the impurities going out with the breath. There's a few visualization exercises just to promote that deeper relaxation, that deeper surrender. And through that surrender and through the removal of all those mental, physical, and emotional barriers, you become even more receptive. And then all that extra amount they can take in makes your offering even greater. From the left toes, inhale all the way up through the left leg, right up through the spine, right to the crown. Exhale back down the same path. Feel the whole left side of the body sinking down. The left side of the back melts into the ground. The left seat, side of the seat, leg, foot, everything. From the right toes, same way. Inhale up the right leg, all the way up through the spine, right to the crown. Exhale all the way back down the same path. As you do so, allow the right side of the back to sink, the right side of the seat, the right leg, right down to the foot. Toes are limp. From the left fingertips, inhale up through the hand, up through the arm, into the shoulder, up the neck, up to the crown, through the head. Exhale the same way down to the same place, the same origin. Feel everything just melting and getting heavy on that side. The left shoulder, left side of the head, the neck, everything. The arm, like dead weight. The hand, lifeless. From the right fingertips, inhale up the right arm. Through the hand, up through the whole arm, to the shoulder, and up through the throat and up to the crown. Exhale the same way down, back to the right fingertips. Feeling everything just release all the muscles so that everything feels heavy. As though you lost all the strength and any amount of weight feels heavy. From the crown, inhale down, all the way down the spine. And then through the left hip, all the way down the left leg, right to the foot, and then to the toes. Exhale back up. And as you do so, return your way back to the crown. Remove any residual tension that still remains, anything that didn't get sufficiently relaxed. Let all that tension go. From the crown, once again, down we go the spine, down the spine, down through the right leg, all the way to the foot. Exhale all the way back up. The same way again. Take note of any tension, anything that did not get released the first time, and then release it. Feel heavy. From the solar plexus, inhale up to the crown. Pull all the energy that resides in that source up there, make it available to all beings everywhere. Exhale back down to the solar plexus, return to that supply. Imagine keeping that channel open so that anytime you breathe in, the energy, the power still keeps going up. And all remains available up at the crown for all beings to tap into. From the fingertips, from the toes, and through the pores of the skin, inhale the best, draw it all into the body. And all the way up through the spine from wherever it resides in the body, and from outside, taking it in from the pores, right up to the crown. Exhale back down the spine and out to all the areas of the body. Send out that goodness everywhere. Send it out to the pores, share it with all beings. Combine with your own greatness. From the base of the spine, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Feel very steady and grounded. Feel as grounded and as heavy as earth itself. As steady as earth itself, unshakable and movable in your devotion to the practice and your intent to serve all beings. eventually all that you do, every thought, every word, every action becomes an offering. And so all actions, thought, words are driven by compassion. And your compassion just continues to grow. Become a channel, a vehicle for compassion. Now draw that vehicle out and meet all beings where they are at, no matter what they do, no matter what they say. Love them all the same. And again, at one point we were them. We all pass through the same thing. Now prepare to take that intention of serving all beings with loving kindness and extend it on your daily lives beyond the mat. So prepare to return from Shavasana. Make your way back up to a seated position. Always mindfully, always quietly, always reverently. Sitting very tall and straight now. We close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it out to all beings. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. Be receptive to the grace of God. Namaste. Thank you again to all those beings who delivered so much goodness while they were here with us.